Have you poured out your heart in your sales page only to experience crickets? No traction, no sales, and just pure heartache and defeat. Well, today we're going to be talking about everything that you need to have a converting sales page, no matter what your offer is, what you're selling, or what your course is. If that sounds good to you, make sure that you show us some love by smashing that like button. Make sure to hit the bell notification to be notified of future videos, and be sure to subscribe. Let's go.
We're so excited to share with you today exactly what you need to have on your sales page. This was a question that just baffled us when we first started out. We went at it ourselves. We literally just put things on a sales page that we thought our customer wanted to hear, but they just did not translate. And after having worked with so many coaches and having spent thousands of dollars, this is the stuff they share in their courses that we're going to be talking about today.
Yes, it's so exciting because when we look at sales pages, we are essentially, like you said, Natalie, we're looking at the customer journey, but we've all had shopping experiences. And when you are trying to sell your offer, sell your service, sell your product, whatever it may be, your sales page is going to act like your salesperson. So what do you want that person to communicate with your ideal customer to get them to a buying decision? So it's a very calculated formula that's going to take the customer on that journey from A to Z, and we're going to get right into it and talk to you about everything that you need to include to have a converting sales page.
We should have like a dance party. Andrew actually does like these card magic tricks, like before he starts every
magic.
Yeah, and it's so cool. Well, our thing should be dancing. We need music for it though.
Yeah. Make sure that the BPMs match with our moves because they're very intricate dance moves. Yeah. All right.
Here's one of the biggest things we struggled with when we first started. We created a course before ever validating it, before ever testing it. It was called Super Simple Video Editing. In our minds, we thought, this is something that everybody needs. Everybody needs in today's world to be making videos, and if you're making videos, you need to learn how to edit. Not only that, but the way we validated in our heads was there are thousands of video editing courses out there, and just like there are thousands of Nike shoes, what's one more offer? Like, what's one more sneaker out on the market? So we're like, we don't need to validate this. This is what we're gonna do. And when we created the sales page for Super Simple Video Editing, what we put in there was, here's why it's an amazing course. It's short. You're going to learn X, Y, and Z. This is what's inside of it. Just everything that you needed to know about the product. And that's actually where we went wrong. While that's really important information, what we didn't do is appeal to people's pain points, appeal to what they're going on in their life, and really talk about how we can help. And so we really, went at it alone. Like, we've tried so many variations of a sales page, not only for Super Simple Video Editing, but for all of our other products that followed. And it was really a long road of iteration. There was a time when we would go into our sales funnel and literally change one word, just one word, and then test it again. And so hopefully we can save you some heartache. Hopefully we can save you some heartache on how you can get it right the first time. But also, disclaimer, you might have to keep iterating as we're going, and don't be afraid to change one word and test it again.
There is a psychology to the language that you use on your sales page, along with a systematic formula of what things to include. So it's all about iteration. It's all about being patient, and it's all about testing things. So one of the ways that we did try to also test our sales page was through ad buys, so with Facebook ads. And that was a very expensive way of us testing things. It's a decision that we made. We learned a lot, but we also dumped a lot of cash that you can maybe say went to waste. But anyway, that is a great way if you do have some cash to spend to validate your offer, validate your sales page and see if it's converting or not through Facebook ads. It's a great approach. There's also, ways that you can test it with a focus group. So maybe pooling together a group of people who are your ideal client or ideal customer. You can throw up a Facebook group page and test your sales page with them and see what resonates with them and what doesn't. People are very particular about colors on a sales page. They're particular about certain language. They're sometimes confused. Maybe things aren't very clear, and they can give you hints as to what's working and what's not.
All right, let's dive right into it. So when you first land on a landing page, that whole section before you start scrolling is so important. That's where that 30-second rule applies. If you catch their attention within 3 seconds, they will grant you another 30 seconds. And then if they like what they see in that other 30 seconds, they'll give you another 30 seconds. So your goal is to get them to spend as much time on that sales page as possible. So before you even scroll, let's talk about what happens before you scroll. You need to have one big headline. That headline is usually a what if statement. So when you think about your ideal customer, what are they currently struggling with? And what's that big solution that would change their life, right? And you want that solution to be easy. You want it to be simple. Can you hear that in the background?
Yeah.
It's like a helicopter.
Yeah. But that's okay. You can
Alright.
continue on. It wasn't like too distracting.
What if you could sleep through the night without waking up and feel completely refreshed without taking medicine? Something like that,
That's
right?
a great example.
Yeah. Some people have trouble sleeping at night. What if you could make money in your sleep without spending crazy amount of hours working?
That's
Do you
really
see
great
that?
too.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what if this could happen to you without the headache, without the hard work, without X, Y, and Z? So you really want to paint that picture so that person reading it can say, yeah, I do want that. I do want to sleep through the night without taking medicine. I do want to make money in my sleep without working too hard. Whatever that is for your target client.
So right under your what if statement, you also want to have a call to action. Your call to action is going to be sprinkled. In other words, it's going to be injected all throughout your sales page, but you need a call to action right off the top, because maybe I'm the kind of customer or buyer who's ready to take action and I don't need to scroll to learn anything more. You want to make sure that you have essentially a button that says, get this course, buy this product, get this offer now, here. So that comes right after your what if statement.
Exactly. And it's like you talked about before, Yasmin, there's that buying psychology that happens. It feels unnatural to us to add buy buttons everywhere on our sales page, but on the flip side of that, that's the buying psychology. You want to make it easy and accessible to your client for them to be able to just click a button and buy it. Underneath your call to action, you want to have a video. And we've talked many, many times about how video has a much higher conversion rate than photos or copy. So we really, really encourage you to get on video, show your face, talk about your product and your brand. Now, this is basically your video sales letter, and we will cover the video sales letter in another episode, but you definitely want to get on camera and show yourself and sell your product.
Perfect. So right beside your video, you also want to have a hook statement. And a hook statement is something that's obviously going to be really attractive. It's going to talk about what will have users wanting to know more. So if we go back to the example of sleeping better, you want to inject perhaps the fact that there are experts showing you how to sleep better and being able to accomplish that in as little as a few days so that you can get better sleep. So it's an expansion on your what if statement, but we're inviting our user and we're getting to introduce them a little bit more to the program, what we're offering, and what they can hope or what they will, the kind of transformation that they will achieve.
Yeah, exactly. And I love to think of the hook statement as just another headline. Like if you were going to brainstorm like 10 what if statements, you can put that in here too. So it's like, what if going to sleep could be as easy as counting to 10? What would that look like for your life? Again, it's just a hook to get them to keep reading more.
Once you have a solid introduction, again, people's attention spans are very, very limited. They're as little as 3 seconds. So then you want to go into identifying the problem that you're solving with your offer. So you want to expand on the problem. You want to paint the picture of what it is that your ideal customer may be suffering from. So really try to get in their head, really try to walk in their shoes to figure out what are those problems or issues and pain pain points that's keeping them up at night, and you can point that out in terms of what your problem is.
Exactly. So again, if we're going to use that sleep example, it's like, are you somebody who walks through the day like a zombie? Are you too exhausted? Are you experiencing brain fog? Do you feel like you can't even get like normal concepts? Do you feel like you have to take a midday nap? Like, is that, and then you wake up feeling exhausted? Again, we're not sleep experts. These are just examples, but it's about painting that problem, right? It's about really getting in the head of your ideal customer and speaking to them. Like, this is something that you're experiencing in your life every single day. Does this sound like you? Is this something that you're going through? Really paint the picture of the problem.
And then right from there, you want to get into how you have a solution for that problem. And this is where, drum roll please, we introduce the big product.
Ta-da! You have a problem and
we have a solution.
We have a solution, and here is the big product. You want to have a big title, then you want to have a product image. Depending on what you're selling, a product image could be something like, if it's, let's say it's a PDF, it could be a lot of pages together. You really want to show that they're getting a lot. Let's say it's a series of videos. You want to show that there's a lot of videos. Maybe it's sneakers. You want to have a really good picture of your sneakers. Whatever it is, you want to have an image of your product, and you want it to be a really good one.
Next to the product image, you want to paint the picture of, imagine what your life would look like and how transformational it would be if you had access to this information, this offer, this product, whatever it may be. So you want to include about 4 or 5 different, it could be highlights, it could be bullet points of what life would be like if they purchase your product.
Next, after that, you want to tell them what's possible, okay? And again, this is a good format for like bullet points. Very similar to imagine what your life would look like. You want to tell them what's possible. So really list out what's possible with the use of this product. You know, it's possible for you to sleep through the whole night and wake up refreshed. It's possible for you to be present with your friends and family. It's possible for you to do all of this. So really talk about everything that is possible for them with your offer, with your product. After that, you want to talk about, hey, you've tried it this way. You've tried the sleeping pills, you've tried the meditations, you've tried, not watching TV before bed, but it's just not working. You've tried this, you've tried that, and guess what? It's just not working for you. So maybe it's time to try something else, something new. So you really, again, want to go back to painting the problem. A sales page is all about speaking to their problems and how you're going to solve it. It's about being in their shoes and really painting that picture. So you're kind of, as you're going through the sales page, jumping back and forth between the problem and the solution, the problem and the solution. So we just talked about the solution. Now we're going back to the problem. You've tried it this way. You've done X, Y, and Z. You've taken all of these actions. Perhaps it's time to try something new.
Excellent. And then from there, again, we want to present them with a shiny solution, which is our product. So we want to say, well, there is another way. And what's the secret? Well, the secret is our product, and you need to buy it. So you always want to make sure that they're being reintroduced to what the product looks like, what the name of the product is, and also a call to action. Again, we talked about how you need to insert a call to action throughout your sales page. And here is another opportunity and a great place to put in that call to action again. So if they're ready to buy, it's accessible and they can just click the button.
Now we're getting into that space in the sales page where you can start injecting testimonials. So this could be people that you've worked with, that you've created transformation for. It could be reviews of your product. It could be reviews of you. A lot of people get caught up in testimonials because they think that if it's not perfect, description of what this product does, they're no good. And that's not true. Testimonials are just there to make sure that the customer knows that you are who you say you are, that your word has integrity. And that can look in many different ways. For example, one of our sales pages was about selling a video starter guide, but it was a brand new product. We didn't have anyone yet who went through the video starter guide, so we weren't going to make anything up. Instead, we included agency testimonials. Those agency testimonials said, working with Natalie and Yasmin was amazing because X, Y, and Z. it still works. You know what I mean? It gave integrity to who we are as people. It allowed us to create trust between us and somebody who was going to buy our product, because Danny said that we were amazing to work with. So why wouldn't we be amazing to work with now? So again, don't get too caught up in your testimonials. If you don't have anything that's specific to your product, if you have a testimonial that speaks about your character or somebody that you've worked with in the past who you've helped, that could still work. But that's a great place to inject it right here, right now.
Absolutely. It's so important. It's the same way when you're shopping on Amazon. If let's say two people are selling the same thing, you're likely going to look up reviews. And maybe it's not like a direct review like we just talked about. Don't get caught up in the actual testimonial, but it's the fact that it legitimizes who you are and adds to the integrity piece. And it just, if somebody's on the fence, the testimonial can make it or break it for them. So really important to include. So following up the testimonials, you want to show your product again with a nice, beautiful product image. And then you want to get into what's included in the product. So remember when we told you initially with the super simple video editing course, how we talked a lot about what's included in the product? Well, here is now your chance to do that. So we did that really early on in our sales page before. We talked a lot about what's included, but you see how we've already warmed up our audience a little bit by taking them through the journey of the problem solution. And now we're going to talk about what they can expect and the value that they can get with the product.
Exactly. And what's great about this is that you can be as detailed as you want or as vague as you want. That's totally up to you. You can give them a really good understanding of what's inside. Like, for example, if let's say you're selling a course, module 1, we're going to learn how to count sheep before you go to sleep. Module 2, blink 100 times before bed, whatever that is, right? But you want to give them a good picture of what they get once they get inside your course or the product or offer or membership, whatever that is. Give them a good picture.
That's right. And a lot of times it's nice to break things up. So you have your modules, you have your lessons, you have your product, but there's also maybe some bonuses, and bonuses are really, really attractive. And I mean, think about it. When you buy something and maybe you get a freebie with it and you're just so happy and thrilled because you're like, yes, I got something free. Well, bonuses are kind of the same way. So you want to also include some bullet points of the product and the value that you're bringing to the table, plus additional bonuses that are included. So maybe along with module 1 being how to count sheep, you also, along with that, get a poster with a bunch of sheep on it that you can put on your roof and you can count them. So that could be like a free bonus.
Exactly. And going back to sales psychology, this is where it comes in. Bonuses are a great way to make the sale. We often don't realize this, but the more bonuses you include, the bigger of a deal they think they're getting. And don't forget to use languages like limited time offer. When you purchase now, you get bonus 1, bonus 2, bonus 3, and make it clear that this is not going to be the deal forever. It's only right here, right now. So limited time offer, get these 3 bonuses with your product, offer, membership, whatever it is.
That urgency is so key. I love that you mentioned that because you want them to act now. So again, such a great way. And I love that you pointed that out. Bonuses create urgency when they're available for a limited time offer. And of course, organically, this is where you want to have another call to action button. So buy the product now or buy the product here. This is a great time to insert that. And following that, you can, again, go into some more testimonials if you wish. It's always nice to reinforce why people should invest in your product.
Exactly. Just like the call to actions, trickling in testimonials throughout your sales page only helps you. Only, again, gives trust to who you are, to your word, the integrity, and what you're selling. And this is the part of the sales page where you can tell them why they should trust you. This is where you start injecting your personality, right? Like who you are as a person, and talk about the expertise that you bring to the table. This is, again, where we went wrong when we first started out. We started our sales page by talking about me, I, and instead, you always start by talking about them, their problems, what they're going through, the solution that you have. And only after that, only after they've connected to you on that, then you can start talking about yourself. Only after that. So this is that part. This is where we're at. Tell them why they should trust you. You can even go and get personal. Talk about your family. Talk about your life. Talk about the things that you love to do. Then talk about the transformation that you've created. And then after that, you can talk about your expertise. I've studied for X, Y, and Z. I've built X companies. I've done this. I've done that. And this is how I came to this transformation. This is how I came to this product, this offer, this membership.
All right. Okay. So you thought we were done, but we have a few more pieces left to cover. So along with a description of who you are and building that trust and explaining about your background, you also want to include a photo of yourself. And this is, again, another opportunity for you to build that connection, that like factor, that trust factor, to bring the human element into life. So you want to make sure that you include a really nice photo of yourself that's really welcoming, that's really attractive. And following your introduction and your photo, you want to make sure that you include more testimonials. And these testimonials are going to be really great. They're going to, again, be testimonials of people raving about who you are, why you're great to work with, why your products are so transformational. Anything that you can include, this is a fantastic place to validate everything that you've included, of how you've learned it, you've earned it, how you've really come to be an expert in your space that you included in your bio.
Next section. This section is where you wean out the herd. Now, a lot of times when we create products or offers or anything, we want to sell to everybody. And when we want to sell to everybody, we end up selling to nobody. So this is where you actually want to lay out who this is for and who this is not for. And if you know of Marie Forleo is famous for this. She will literally say, I don't want to work with X, I don't want to work with Z, I don't want to work with so-and-so. Those are not my people. I only want to work with you if you are this, this, and that. And so this is exactly what you're going to do. You're going to bullet point. This is right for you if. So again, going back to the sleeping thing. This is right for you if you are coachable, you're willing to try new things. This is not right for you if you're a pessimist, if you're not willing to change your ways, if you're somebody who's going to, and don't be afraid to do that, to call out the characters of who that person is, because more times than not, they will read that and say, well, I'm not that person. I am coachable. I am willing to try new things. I am willing to do X, Y, and Z. And it's only going to get them to a place of yes faster. So don't be afraid to be bold and say, I don't want to work with people who are lazy or people who are not optimistic or don't want to try new things. Like, you're not my people. And I'm bold. I'm going to say that. So this is that section where you do that.
Perfect. And again, this is a great place to inject another call to action button. So buy the product here. And following up that call to action button, now you want to talk about the satisfaction guarantee. You always want to make sure, again, buyer's psychology is that if I'm investing in something, I want to make sure that I have a way of getting out if I really am not satisfied or if the product isn't good enough. And this is just to add a little bit of security for them to be able to say yes with no hesitation. So satisfaction guarantee buttons they don't have to have any legal jargon of any sort. They just need to be very clear. You can either get, for example, a 14-day money back guarantee, no questions asked, or 30-day money back guarantee, no questions asked if the product does not meet your expectations. It's a security blanket.
Yeah, and a lot of the questions we get asked was, well, what if I get somebody buying my product who, is just going to ask for their money back? They're going to go through the entire product, they're going to use the product, and they're going to ask for their money back. And to be honest, that's the industry you're in. That might happen. But if we have a mind shift about satisfaction guarantees, think of this as an amazing way to learn more about your product and iterate it and get feedback. If, for example, you sell 100, offers, right? 100 courses to 100 people, and you get 5 people who say, I want my money back. Interview those 5 people. Ask them what went wrong, what didn't work, what didn't you like what was it that didn't speak to you, and learn and iterate so that you can make your product even better going forth. So actually, the satisfaction guarantee might seem scary to you. It might seem like somebody could be taking you for your money, but it's not. It's actually there to protect you and help you grow your business even further.
Okay, and here again, you want to create more urgency on the sales page. You want to make sure that people know that this offer is only available for a limited time offer. Don't be afraid to inject some of this urgency. People react to it really, really well. You want to make sure that they know that this is just available for a short period of time and they need to act now. So get them to click that buy button and get to the checkout page. And this is again where you want to include another call to action, which is another button to get them to the checkout page.
Exactly. And with that urgency, with that limited time offer, you want to bust those last minute objections. This is the part where they could be like, yeah, this all sounds good, but what about X, right? Think about what those last minute objections could be, and you want to bust those. So you will have time to do this. You will be able to sleep. You will be, whatever it is, you really want to inject and bust those last minute objections.
So next you want to tackle some frequently asked questions. And frequently asked questions are likely questions that people have asked you several times. So you just want to make sure that you get all of that cleared. For example, people might wonder, how long is your course? Are they going to have lifetime access to your course? Or for example, what tools do they need? Do they need to be tech savvy to be able to take your course? So anything that you can answer to help remove any objections that they might have to move forward, this is a fantastic place to insert any frequently asked questions.
Guys, we are getting to the end of the sales page. Yay! So we are at the end. You want to have your last call to action. Now, your last call to action is obviously a button, buy the product now, but you want to have a headline right before it. That headline is going to, again, pull them in. So are you ready to sleep through the entire night? Then button, yes, I am. Buy now, right? So whatever that statement is, but you really want them to feel like, okay, yes, I'm ready to buy the product. I think this is where we have our call to action. So that brings us to the end of the sales page.
Okay.
If you like this video, make sure you hit da-da-da-da-da.
That brings us to the conclusion of the sales page and everything that you need to include to have a converting sales page. Again, it's all about iteration. It's all about being patient. So take the knowledge that you have now, apply it to your sales page, and get as much feedback and iterate as much as possible until it is pristine. Now, if you like this video, make sure that you smash that like button and give us some love. Make sure to hit the bell notification to be notified of future videos. We're going to be sharing lots of tangible and amazing advice. So be sure to tune in and subscribe to this channel.
Yes, and if you liked today's sales page template, we invite you to check out our course video structure, where we do the same thing. We'll literally walk you through exactly what you should include it. Where we do the same thing. We walk you through exactly what you should include in your course modules. So if you like that, check out the link below where you can download your course video structure for free. And with that, that wraps up our video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
And then we have the dance party.